Roland Willits, OMS story. And I'm here with Charley Sandage, and he is going to tell us a story, or tell us a story of the song.
Yeah.
What was the song?
This one is The Last Local.
The Last Local.
Yeah, and local in this case is a train that actually stops.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you know, you have your trains that sail through.
That's right.
But then the ones that stop, and this really mattered in the little town where I grew up. Really, the town had come into being with the railroad. It was South Arkansas, piney wood land, cotton and pine products. Really,
Oh, okay.
there was a little mill there that made Excelsior. Excelsior is basically shredded pine, looked like hay bales, but it was the packing material for crates and whatnot for shipping.
Oh, okay.
Before we had the extruded foam peanuts, you know.
Right. Yeah.
It was Excelsior, and so people cut timber for the mill, and people worked at the mill, and then people grew cotton, and there was a gin, and so for there to be a train, it would stop.
Right.
And take your goods. And there was a depot. If you were going to make a big trip, you went on the train. And the train carried in the mail. And the mail went out. There was a hanger, an arm.
Well, I was thinking about that.
The postmaster would come over, and the station agent would hang the bag, and even a train that wasn't stopping, you know, but it started to pick up the mail, whizzing through, and they had this arm that they would extend and snatch the mail bag on the fly and throw the mail bag off, you know. So there's, you know, a line in the song that says, mail and jobs and people came and went along these tracks.
Right.
It was the lifeblood of the town. But the Excelsior became obsolete. People quit raising cotton. And so you can't really say that when Missouri Pacific decided we aren't going to stop in this little town anymore.
It wasn't picking on them.
You can't say that the railroad caused the town to die. It was a chicken and egg kind of thing.
That's right.
And the town didn't really die. It just turned into another little rural bedroom community. You drove off 15 miles that way or 12 miles the other way and worked someplace else.
What was the name of the town?
Well, the town's Donaldson.
Donaldson.
Southwest or south central Arkansas, Hot Spring County. And so there were jobs up in the county seat at Malvern or down in the neighboring county seat at Arkadelphia or elsewhere. And people lived there, but all the connections, all the activity, all the focus, you know, is not there anymore. So the town's still there, but it's more of a memory.
Is the people stay there, but they go out they go out to work.
There's a line in the song: "You can live here if you like, but you'll work somewhere up the road."
Okay. I almost had it, 'cause I come from that part, you know, type country up in northern Minnesota, and so you have similar type places.
Towns all over the country came into being with the railroads.
Right.
Went out of being with the railroads, or at least when there were no more locals.
Yeah. But the roads got better, so there was actually transportation coming into it, because there was a lot of trucking.
Everything's about truck.
Yeah.
Everything's about truck.
But for some reason, people just didn't set up their businesses in the little tree holes.
Sure. Now the town would cluster along the new highway, you know,
right?
The main highway, and then particularly when the interstate system came.
Oh, yeah.
It redefined communities all over the place.
All over, yeah. And they don't really have any super highways up here in this area.
Well, we got in Arkansas And when the first network of interstates started coming to be, I mean, in order to get from Memphis to Dallas,
Yeah.
you had to have an interstate.
Yeah,
so we
correct.
got I-30.
Yeah, 30 going.
In order to get from Memphis to Kansas City, you had to have one. So
yeah, the one going.
we got a couple of interstates.
You got a Y going, yeah, but
yeah.
there's nothing up here in north.
No.
Northeast.
No, here in the Ozarks, in Stone County,
Right.
the first paved roads were sometime in the mid to late 50s. I may be a little off. That's close.
Maybe early.
Yeah. Mid to late 50s.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I actually drove up in this country in the mid 60s. I was a new ensign in the Navy. And we were full.
And so, of course, you naturally came to the Ozarks.
No, I live up in Minnesota.
Oh, okay.
So I was coming from Pensacola.
Okay.
And I said, and what happened is we picked up this enlisted fella.
Yeah.
And we were gonna give him a ride, and he said, I'm going up to the holler.
Ah.
So we said, I looked over at my friend John. I said, should we bring him there? Yep. And so that's how we ended up in the Ozarks.
Let's go by the hall.
Yeah. I was up in this country.
Yeah.
And like he didn't know where I was.
You know,
but it was a journey and a story.
There's stories everywhere, but there's certainly stories in these hollers. And there's even a story about that. A geologist will tell you that the Ozarks are not true mountains. That it was an uplifted plateau that was eroded when glaciers melted.
Right.
And technically speaking, scientifically speaking, that's correct. But if there is, like in this case, if there's about 1,000-foot difference between where you are and where you are and where the hollow is down below, that looks an awful lot
looks like a mountain to me.
Right.
I think
so. The saying would be that in the Ozarks, the mountains aren't very high, but the valleys are awful deep.
I like that. That's really cool. And this is spectacular. And you have a spectacular home. You built right on the spot. Here, look at the view, guys. Look at that.
That's
eat your hearts out.
Clearly, that's why we built it right here.
Okay. Roland Willits, All Men Stories. And you say, Charley Sandage, All Men Stories. Say it right to the camera.
Charley Sandage, Old Man Stories.
Oh!